How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining me again. And I'm once again joined by Phil.
Hello.
Hello, Phil. How are you, son? What? I don't know what that was.
Yeah, not bad, buddy. Looking forward to seeing how this game goes. I remember watching it from across the room whilst I was playing, so it'll be good to actually see what's happening here.
It comes from our final night where we all flew TIE brutes.
Pretty much. I think out of the 8 players that were there, 4 of us were flying brutes.
There was a Brute v Brute game going on, wasn't there?
There were 2. Connor versus Ash in a Brute v Brute, and then me versus Ash in a Brute v Brute. It was actually quite interesting. It was Brute v Punisher v Punisher. So
sounds pretty cool, actually.
It was quite a heavy-hulled list, that one. Shame that wasn't on a camera.
That'd have been a really good one. But instead, we bring this to our viewers. We have me and Wes facing off. First time I actually used the Empire for a long time, actually. So
yeah, you've been playing your Republic predominantly. I think I almost forgot that you had anything but Republic, to be honest.
I love the Republic because I was a young child when the prequel trilogy was being released. Those were my films. They're very close to my heart. And if anybody wants to slag them off, then you can just leave right now. Subscribe first and then go away, yeah.
I think they were good films. I think they got better. From 1 through 3, they got better. It was definitely an upwards curve.
Yeah.
I mean, I was I think I was 11 when Phantom Menace came out. I do remember when they re-released the original trilogy and I was able to go see that in cinema as well, which was great. So, enjoyed that.
I wasn't 12. I was a bit less than that.
Anyway, back to the game.
Oh yeah, we're playing a game. So let's start with a quick list breakdown as we usually do. So let's have a look at the Empire list. Heading them off, of course, and why wouldn't you? Darth Vader in his TIE Advanced X1, equipped with afterburners, passive sensors, and I've given him some concussion missiles as well. Joining him, we have the brand new and shiny Rampage in the TIE Heavy or TIE Brute, and he has the Ion Limiter Override, the Sync Laser Cannon, and the configuration we're using is the Target Assist configuration. And to round out the pack, we've got 2 TIE Fighters piloted by Valen Rudol with an Ion Limiter as well, and Night Beast with a targeting computer.
Good list.
Does need a few alterations. Phil, tell us about Wes's Rebels.
So, on Wes's side, we have the VCX 100 Ghost, piloted by Alexander Kallus. On there we have Chewbacca, Dorsal Turret, Veteran Turret Gunner, Stealth Device, and Trick Shot. So, quite a beefy ship there. He is supported by 2 U-Wings. In one of the U-Wings we have Saw Gerrera, running Pivot Wing, Lando Calrissian, and the Elusive Talent. And the other one is Cassian Andor with the Pivot Wing, and he has Hera Syndulla. And I believe that when you look at it on the screen, Cassian Andor is the original white and blue scheme, and Saw Gerrera is in his black and white partisan U-Wing, so sticking with their thematic movie/TV show colours there.
You would be correct. That is the correct paint job for the correct pilot.
Wait, you've got to try and match it, really, haven't you? You'd be silly not to.
I genuinely sometimes cannot bring myself to play a game with a ship if that pilot is not in its correctly painted model. And I try very hard to get over it.
That's why I have 4 differently painted Jedi Knights, so that I can do that.
Exactly. Speaking of Jedi Knights, a couple of weeks we will have some brand new Jedi Knights, and my plan is to paint 1 green, 1 blue, and then leave 1 as it is. Then we'll have the red one for Shark T, the blue one for Obi-Wan's second one, and that can also be blue for Ayla. And then the green one, of course, Anakin got a green one after the Battle of Coruscant as well. That you've got Yoda and you've got Anakin. I think that's it.
Yes, the other pilot you've got is, I believe it's Ayla Secura.
Yeah, so she'll be.
Is the final pilot.
Yeah, so she'll go with Obi-Wan's blue one.
Yeah. So Yoda, Ayla Secura, Shakti. Then you've got Anakin, and then it is. So the app doesn't actually tell you very well, but then it's the Jedi Generals.
Yeah, the generic. Yeah. So yeah, that's my plan. It would have been Ahsoka's paint job, but she's not arriving in the Eta 2 just yet.
I don't believe she ever flew the Eta 2 because I think
she did.
Did she?
She did. It's in the Clone Wars.
I'll have to go back and check that.
Oh yeah, do, because otherwise the comment section will be, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
No, I mean, I have watched it all, but I'm currently in the process of going back through it. But I know obviously the Eta 2 was brought in later in the Clone Wars. So she probably only really got a little look in, and then it was switching over to, she was obviously leaving the Jedi Order at that point.
Yeah. I can't remember when the season switchover was from the Delta to the Eta 2. But yeah, I need to go back and watch it again. But currently, we have The Mandalorian to enjoy.
Indeed we do.
And she will appear in that, and highly likely next week as well.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we won't put any spoilers in for anyone that hasn't watched it if they are looking to wait for them all to come out and binge watch them in one go. I'm not going to say anything about people that want to do that. I think it's a great idea. Personally, I can't control myself that long. I had to watch it straight away. So...
Yeah, you're speaking to two people here with massive impulse problems, and that sounded a lot better in my head than it did just now. So, so let's get back and talk about our actual plastic game in front of us as we begin.
I mean, first question I want to ask you is about your choice of upgrades on Rampage, because I know that there were 4 Rampages flown on the night. All of them, well, in fact, all of them were Rampage. All of them had synced laser cannons and target assist.
Yep.
Which I think is generally seen as a very good option. I mean, sync laser cannon, meaning that you have 3 dice at range 1 to 3 because of your normal gun.
Yeah, so normal gun at range 1, cannon at 2, cannon at 3, ignoring the range bonus.
As long as you've got a calculate.
Yes.
Which with the target assist MGK is something that makes it a lot easier to get hold of. But obviously you've got the ion limiter overdrive on there, which is, for me, probably the big interesting one there, because I know that myself and the other 2 pilots, shall we say, on the night actually went with the expert handling instead. So I'm curious as to your choice of ion limiter override instead.
I actually tried expert handling in the second game that I played. I did fiddle around with this list for the other game I played on our final Wednesday before we had to stay in our houses, thanks to Mr. Johnson. So it's a strange one, actually, because the TIE Heavy does not cater. It has a hard one, which is red, and that was where I thought about using the ion limiter, because if you do a hard turn and you're stuck somewhere, at least you have a reposition. That was my logic behind it.
Fair enough. But like I said, it's different to how I ran it, by 1 card, basically. I mean, yeah, I agree, there's no K-turn on the TIE Heavy. I still think it's got a fairly forgiving dial for what it is. Yes, it's 1 and 3 hearts of red. It has the 3 Talon, which is brilliant, really good. Unless you've got the maneuver assist MGK on there, it's only got the 4 blues, which are the 1 and 2 forward and the 2 banks. But for a medium base ship, I still think that's pretty darn good.
It is pretty good. The TIE Heavy is built, or it's been designed, as a heavy fighter. So it is quite nimble for a medium base ship, as opposed to the LAT, which is much slower and definitely more beefy than the TIE Heavy.
I think it's definitely got a much better dial. Like, although the Punisher has access to the 4K turn and the stop, I definitely prefer the Heavy's dial to the Punisher's dial.
Yeah, I could see that. I haven't flown a Punisher for a while, so maybe that's something to try out soon. But yeah, I think between those two, I like the dial of the Heavy. The thing that is winning it for me is the Talon turn, the 3 Talon.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 Talon is a very handy move, but I think there's a really big difference between doing a K turn or a Talon roll. And for me, I think sometimes a Talon roll works much better than the K turn, because if you're not doing it over a ship, it can put you quite far away, whereas the Talon roll keeps you a bit closer, I feel.
Yeah, I think when you Talon, you're going to turn in and round, so yeah, you'll be closer than you would if you're just doing a straight and then coming back the other way.
Yeah. So an interesting different variation there. Be again when people can actually get back out more and play some more. It'd be nice to see if other variants come into play, or if everyone basically goes, you know what, this is how a Rampage or the TIE Brute should be flown, and everyone does that. But yeah, it's good, and I do like the choice of the TIE fighters you have there with him and Vader. It makes for quite a nice, interesting list.
Night Beast is actually my favourite TIE pilot out of all of them, because it's similar to the Ahsoka mechanic of you fully execute a manoeuvre, you get an extra action, and I think extra actions are awesome. So doing the blue manoeuvre with Night Beast, getting your focus, it leaves you free to do a lot of other things. And if you bang a targeting computer on there, then you've also got rerolls, which is the only thing that the basic TIEs lack.
Yeah, definitely. And targeting computer is a good option to have on there.
Yeah, I would even put it on Valen. I would take out Ion Limiter to keep as much bid as I've got, and then put in another target computer. Because with Valen, I think what you can do is very similar. You can have your action step, and I'd almost always evade. So guarantee yourself some better defense dice, and every time you're attacked, right then you get your offensive bonuses, take a focus, or even target lock if you've got a computer. Something like that.
I mean, he's definitely a very much mid-swarm or formation pilot.
Yeah.
And that is quite good.
You want to keep like a friend with him, don't you? Yeah. At least, so his ability doesn't just trigger with him.
And I mean, what it looks like at the moment is you've obviously started in opposite corners. Wes has taken an early pivot on the 90 degrees there.
Yes.
And come around too hard.
He's used the pivot wing really well, I think, because he's seeing me come from the other side instead of going down the table edge and then up the right edge of the board near camera side. He's gone, right, I'll turn in and then I'll go in left, which I think is not bad, but I thought that was a great use of pivot wing personally.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to use it early. And from the move that Night Beast has done there, it almost looks like your intention might be to try and draw those larger ships through that area of obstacles, which, if flown well, would definitely favour yourself.
Yeah. Having played games with like the arcs, there's one particular game using the arc 170s where I struggled with the debris because it was so close. With that in my mind, I'm trying to think, okay, right, if I get the Ghost into that little triangle of gas clouds and rock there, it's going to struggle. Potentially even that smaller rock, because I think smaller obstacles can be a lot trickier than you think.
Definitely, because I mean, it's a fairly squarish obstacle as well, so you've got to be careful in how you approach it and get around it.
Yeah.
The U-Wings are just going to keep going up, and the Ghost is coming in to the fight. Wes has done a really good option there. He's stuck stealth device on there, so fingers crossed he obviously doesn't lose that too quickly. But that gives him that evade there. That's a Lando trigger, getting himself an evade on Saw Gerrera there.
He did use Lando really well in this game as well. There was some really good Lando triggers. So you'll have that to enjoy. And let's see if the TIE Brute can fit. Oh, it does.
Does just about. It is always very tricky to fly a medium base and small base ships in a formation. A lot harder than if you were trying to fly small base and large base, because the large base is 4 times the size, so it's twice as long and twice as wide, so you can account for that. With the medium base being 1.5, it takes a lot more to get used to. It's almost a case of, right, if they're in a formation like that, you almost need to go, right, I need to do a 3 with my small base ships, and then a 2 with my medium to keep them behind. But then if you do that too often, then the medium base ship then comes a lot further behind. It's almost like for each 2 turns that you do like a 3-2, the third turn you would need to do a 2-3. So 2 for the small base, 3 for the medium to keep it in there.
Yeah.
Might actually need to test that now just to see.
Well, there you go. You've just got an example of the ion limiter. Unfortunately, I rolled a crit, so I got an ion token.
Luckily, on a medium-based ship, you need 2 of those to affect you, but that'll be hanging around until you do get ionised.
Yeah, exactly. Potentially hanging around all game. We shall see.
I mean, interesting that you were to barrel roll there. I mean, looking at it, you've got a rock in a fairly inconvenient position there.
I think my plan was to hope that the nubs of the base would just skim past it so I could fly straight through it.
Yeah.
Another thing I've noticed is that if you keep everything and try and squeeze all your ships through like a little passageway like you've got here, you've got the 2 ties and F, you can tell they're basically going to go through those 2, between the 2 rocks.
Yeah.
What the plan there is to try and shake it up a little bit. So the brute now is going to go round that into a much more open space. Vader, he's still in a similar position to the ties, but he's more manoeuvrable, more unpredictable. He could go anywhere. It's just a question of how fast the ghost is going to come in. The 2 options that Wes could put the ghost is you could turn it in. It's a huge ship with lots of hit points and no evasion, although it has stealth device. He could just turn it in and go straight through the gas cloud. That's going to do absolutely nothing to it, even if it's strained. Or it could fly straight and try and block off that other passageway you've got between the big rock and the other 2 down there.
Well, I think what Wes would be looking for is to try and get into a position where he's got you the other side of one of those obstacles. So with trick shot, he's got a 5-die shot. Yes, you get the additional evade dice, and obviously you get the old school afterburners on there, auto thrusters, sorry, for being the other side of a gas cloud. But I mean, you're saying about obviously not trying to telegraph too early what you're going to be doing. I mean, looking at those ties, they've got the option to 2 or 3 bank, possibly 2 bank with Night Beast and 3 bank with Valen down towards the middle of the board. Would get them a nice shot in towards Kallus, but Kallus would have a pretty good shot back at you with his forward attack. And if he were to spend a turn to move that turret, you'd then have the veteran turret gunner, and if he can get you the other side of an obstacle. Now, just need to double check with trick shot. So it's only when you perform an attack. So he could potentially be doing a 5-die and a 3-die attack on you if he can get veteran turret gunner and dorsal turret all working perfectly. That is crazy. That's
potentially very bad. Yes.
Absolutely insane.
It'd be a lot worse if we're firing behind an asteroid as opposed to a gas cloud.
Yeah.
Because we can get the defensive boon from that as well.
Yeah.
As opposed to just an extra dice.
Also, one thing we've completely overlooked there is Kallus's ability. So while he's a defend, if the attacker modified any attack die, you may roll 1 additional defense dice. So
and at what point are you not going to do that? So yeah.
So you've got to weigh up modifying your dice and go, right, you roll 3 dice, you get 2 hits and a focus, and you've kind of got to think to yourself, do I spend this focus to modify that so that he can potentially evade it? I mean, you'll still get the 2 hits regardless, but I mean, it's an interesting one.
I would be interested to see how it operated.
Yeah. So it looks like we've got 3 bank from Night Beast.
Yeah, so that is a 3.
It's going to be interesting if you try and do the 3 with Valen. It should just tuck in nicely behind, but it could potentially bump.
Yeah.
You've always got to be really careful when doing those bank maneuvers when flying into a formation. Normally,
bank maneuvers are so hard, yeah.
Normally, if you're, I'll call it a pro tip, but normally if you are in a line across formation or in a square and you're looking to bank, whichever direction you're going, if you're going to the left, you would start with the shortest bank on the left-hand side. So if you were going 3 across and you want them all to bank round, you would go 1, 2, 3 to keep them in that line.
Yeah, and also he's now barrel rolled to get the gas cloud coverage. So I don't see, if Valen does a bank 3 as well, I don't see how they're not going to collide.
If Valen does a bank 3, that's pretty much where Night Beast is.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, even he's gone forward, but...
Oh no, I think you actually are. I think you do manage it, because I think you might have gone forward with your bank, with your.
Yeah, I definitely did. Okay.
Okay, so he fits in. So because he's the forward, it's fine. You've got to be really careful there.
There's a lot of times where he's still doing that. You will collide with yourself. So yeah, I think that's really good going. He's also doing the same, so to get the coverage, which I think is a great idea. Oh yeah, you can see now that the fact that he moved forward was exactly what saved Valen, because you can just see how close they are horizontally.
Now, if I was Wes, I'd be moving that dorsal turret to the front. I don't know if it'd have range, it might be just that range. If I remember rightly, dorsal turret's only 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't put it to the front, I'd put it to the other side then. Because if it's not got range, I'd put it on your left to then...
So it's there ready for next time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, at the moment, he's got a 5 dice shot into Night Beast. Oh, he's going for
5 dice versus 4.
Let's go for the target lock instead.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's...
Saw coming in as well to keeping in the pattern. Doing a Lando. Two focuses. That's fantastic.
It's a cheaper perceptive co-pilot.
It is, yeah.
Less consistent. And this, I think, is where I would be looking at it going, thinking maybe that barrel roll wasn't such a good idea, because you've got Rampage turned away. If you'd have 2 banked Rampage in behind, you could have really focus fired in on the Ghost there. Hopefully get rid of its stealth device so it'd only have 1 evade.
That potentially was a miscalculation on my part, because the Brute is now out of any combat, certainly. But it will take potentially... Yeah, it's going to be another turn until he's into a decent position.
He'll probably be doing a too hard, come back around.
Yeah.
And then, even then, with the positioning of Wes's forces, they're going to have to turn in, so you might still get a shot. Interesting one from Vader. He didn't really have much choice there with the way he was angled behind that rock.
No, I was worried he was going to bump again, and that would have absolutely murdered him.
Yeah.
So what he's doing is he's playing it really defensive, and he's getting right out of there. That's a focus purely for defense.
Yeah.
I'm even hoping that he's not in range, so he's not going to get shot at all.
It's a tough one. I think if he is in arc, he'll be at range 3 at the absolute most.
Yeah.
So I think looking at it, from Wes's side, there's only going to be shots from Kallus and possibly Cassian. It's hard to see because I can't quite see the full template there, but I think Cassian's going to be just outside of range 3. So it's only going to be Kallus versus Night Beast, and then Valen and Night Beast to shoot back at Kallus.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 5v4 here with a target lock. He's only rolling 4 dice.
Yeah, that is a shame.
So he's missed trick shot there.
Yes, that's 3v3 evade, so everything is still the same.
Yeah, but obviously trick shot being missed there. I mean, that was a perfect opportunity for trick shot. 5 dice shot with your target lock on there. Brilliant. Love it.
Yeah. Just a bit of a waste of points otherwise.
Yeah, so it's going to be a range 3. I reckon it's a range 3 shot back from Valen.
Yeah, so Saw and Cassian are both out.
Yeah.
Rampage is obviously not facing. Valen is still in range.
So range 3, so 2v3 there, because of the stealth device, the range, and the obstacle.
Yep.
So that's laughing. And if you modify your dice, he rolls another one.
I do not.
You do not need to modify
Exactly.
there, so that's fine.
Oh dear. I think that's only 1 evade.
Ah, but that's a blank there, so the gas cloud.
Means it should be okay.
Unless that's not 2 focuses up there, is it?
Do you know what it might be? I think there's 2 focuses, 1 blank. He can turn 1 blank to an evade. That's really unfortunate if it is, because that's 1 shield gone and loss of stealth device.
Yeah. In the first round of shooting as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as if the ghost can't take a few hits.
Yeah, so that was 2 focuses and an evade there. So stealth device dropped.
Yep.
And a shield on the ghost. So that's not good. It's a shame you didn't have to modify your dice there for Wes, because then you
No, if we had, I think he would have probably come out on top there. Definitely have kept the stealth device.
Yeah.
And that just leaves Night Beast to shoot as well. That is a focus and a hit.
Look, so just
We
one
do not
hit
have
there.
anything to change.
One evade dice. Blank.
Mod with the cloud.
Yeah.
Safe. And that's it for the first round of combat. There we go.
So I think that's a bit unfortunate for Wes there, losing his stealth device so early. It's definitely not what would have been in Wes's plan there.
No, it's always a bit of a blow when you lose your stealth device really, really early.
Yeah.
But normally, I find it only ever goes 2 ways. You'll lose it really early, or it'll just hang on. You'll just be able to keep it for most of the game. It's one of those you have to be quite lucky, but I've never seen any middle ground. It's always one way or the other.
I think it's one of the tough things as well. When you've got on a ship that has no evades, it becomes your only evade dice. Yes, you have the range 3 and the obstacle there. But it becomes your only evade dice sometimes. So when you're only rolling 1 evade dice, normally you see stealth device on a ship that has a few, like 2 or 3 evades natively.
Yeah.
So there's more chance of that surviving through that.
Yeah, stealth device on like a 2 evade dice ship, I think, is a bigger thing. When it's on a ship that's 0, like the Ghost, it doesn't really make a difference. It's great if it stays for however long it does, but it's not built to evade. It's built to just take the hits and last as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when I used to use it in version 1, I'd have it on Untitled or one of those high evade ships, and it would work really well.
Untitled is a great use of stealth device. Maybe even a 7B Jedi actually would be quite good, because you would take it from a 2 green dice to a 3 green dice, and that could be massive.
It is an interesting thought.
I'm going to have to try that, I think.
But I mean, my thought there is, are there other modifications you'd want to potentially put on there instead?
On a Ghost, I think you want more hull. More hull or more shields. Just pack on as much as you can. So that was a 3 straight from Night Beast, which is Boo. So he gets his focus. And he's going to take a target lock by the looks of things on Saw.
What I'd kind of like to see here is Saw and Cassian reading that and coming in. Yep, so there's Saw doing a turn in. I think.
Yeah, that's Cassian coming in, but he's landing on that asteroid.
Yeah.
I can tell you he actually landed on the rock.
Oh, that's not good.
It was really unfortunate. And he rolled a damage.
Not good at all.
No. Even worse is that he would do a lot more damage, but he's out for the round, Cassian, because of course you cannot shoot on an asteroid.
Yeah.
Anything else, it's fair game. You can shoot as much as you want.
Yeah. I mean, what would be good here is if Kallus does a 1 forward and rotates that dorsal turret.
Yeah.
I think he'd be laughing there.
Yeah, I think so. And you are correct, sir.
There's the 1 forward. Rotate that dorsal turret.
Go on, Wes, rotate. Yes.
Because, I mean, at this point, he's not going to have any other option to shoot.
No, both the other ties are going to move out of his front arc.
Yeah. And then I think what I would do is I would take that shot onto Valen, because you'll get trick shot on there as well.
Yeah. See, if he didn't have trick shot, I think I'd go for Night Beast. But this is the thing: trick shot almost tricks you, the player, in a way, because you think, right, normally you're obstructed. Let's go for the unobstructed, and it says, no, I've got a benefit if you're obstructed.
I mean,
so,
if it wasn't for gas clouds, it would be different.
Yeah, I think so.
If it was just debris or asteroids, where you don't get the flank to evade benefit, it's definitely better.
Potentially, if I had trick shot and it was using a gas cloud, I might ignore it and go for an unobstructed, whereas if it was something else, I would probably go for the trick shot. Potentially. But yeah, Heavy is come back round, as you said, doing a hard 2. I kind of wish it could boost, or you could put an afterburner or an engine upgrade on it, because I just want it to go a little bit further. Just round the corner you'd get a shot. Unfortunately, you cannot do either of those things.
No.
Vader, what is he doing? Ooh, okay.
So swinging himself around.
He's coming in.
I think
Got
he's
the rock. So you want to get out of that.
So he's probably going to want to barrel roll. If he wants a shot, he needs to barrel roll to his left.
Yeah.
So looking for target lock.
If you go left, you can go offensive. If you go right, you can be defensive and you can play a longer game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going with the latter option. Going to go round the rock and play the long game.
And that also means I don't think you've got a shot. I think Night Beast possibly has arc, but looking at it...
Yeah, potentially the only shots will be Kallus and Saw.
Yeah, I think you might be... You're definitely out of arc with Night Beast. So Valen, I think you're out of arc with Night Beast there.
Yeah, Valen's definitely out, and we will see what we measure up with Night Beast as well.
So range 2 for the dorsal turret there. I think Wes has forgotten he's got trick shot, to be honest.
He might have done, yeah. He's going for the unobstructed into Night Beast.
Yeah. I can only see one of the dice, but it looks like there's only one.
We have one hit, yeah. Lots of potential to dodge that with a TIE fighter. Yeah, so hit and blank and an eye.
Reflex.
A nice array of things, but not really what you need.
No.
So here we go.
And
Yeah, well, there's one for one, so no damage there.
Now, unfortunately, Saw Gerrera, on the other hand, has a clean straight shot onto you.
He does indeed.
And he's only got an evade, unfortunately.
Yeah, so he's only got one hit as well. Not great for Wes. That's 2 eyes, so if we spend a focus, there we go. Still no damage. And as you said, Phil, it looks like Night Beast is out of arc. So, best use of that focus token, I think. Cassian would be able to shoot, of course, but he's on an asteroid, so...
Yeah.
I think a bit of a break there, because I think another shot into Night Beast would have put some damage in.
Definitely, when you're there with no tokens, I think.
With no tokens, TIE fighters become very squishy.
So, now looking at this, I think I'd expect to see a 1 hard from the Ghost.
Yeah.
Saw probably a 1 bank. Cassian is in a terrible position.
He
because
is, yeah.
he flies before Kallus. So the best he can hope to do is bump off the rock.
Yes.
And it's difficult to see what sort of angle that rock is. But I think he'd be...
It was a fairly minor clip, so hopefully he will be able to get off with the space between them, so...
Yeah, if he was to do like a 1 bank... would a 3 bank? I don't think I'll try to look at it to see if I think the 3 bank would clear.
No, I don't think it would. I think you're right that a bump is the best option as long as it gets off that rock. if he does have to stay there, it's going to be a bit of a bummer. I am trying to think, where would Saw go? Because I don't think he wants to move too fast. Because if he wants to keep focus on the TIE fighters, they're both going to have to stay quite slow and to be in that area. The other option would be, of course, they could just 5 straight and get out there across the gas cloud, but whether that's a good idea or not, I'm not sure.
I don't think it'd be a good idea, to be honest. I mean, you potentially run the risk that Wes anticipates that and does a pivot wing 90-degree turn with Saw.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 moves that I would anticipate is a 1 hard from Kallus.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to be a really nice move, because if those TIE fighters go slow, you have the dorsal turret there. I reckon you'll have Rampage. You'll have a shot on Rampage easily with the front.
Yes.
With Cassian, you've got to hope that like a 1 bank gets him off there or something. And Saw doing a 1 bank to the left. Even if your TIE fighters go slow, he might bump into Night Beast, but then he'll have a shot on Valen.
That could be good, yeah. Block Night Beast and get Vader would be not good at all for...
And also, Vader's put himself in a tricky position, because any hard manoeuvre will put him on that rock. So he's probably doing a 2 or 3 bank round.
Yeah, he's definitely banking at best, isn't he? I think, again, he needs to go as fast as he can to stay in a favourable position.
Oh, so you're deciding to not wait for the block and just go straight for the block.
Yeah.
Bumping in there.
Yeah. Getting nice and cozy with Saw. Maybe after he bumped, he was feeling quite sore. Who knows?
Okay, and it looks like going for that 2 hard.
So you're trying to get round, yeah.
Which...
Can't tell if he got off the wrong there.
Well, if he rolls again, then he didn't.
No, we're moving on to Vaden, so I think he cleared it. Which I'm pleased for.
Yeah.
Having to roll rock twice really sucks.
Yeah. So I reckon that Saw's now bump, not go anywhere. So
yep.
I mean, Vaden will have a shot on Cassian. I really hope that the Ghost has done that 1 hard. If he has, he's got a great shot there. And it's almost a shame that you'd want Wes to remember trick shot right there, because he'd have a trick shot on Valen.
Well, he's going for a 2.
Oh, no.
Oh, I don't. That doesn't look good to me.
No, that's going to land with its butt on that rock.
See, these small rocks and big ships, they don't go together.
A 1 hard would have fit through there. It might have landed a bit on the gas cloud, but it wouldn't have done any damage. And that is a point of damage as well.
Well, exactly. So that means he is not going to be able to attack anything either. So
that was not good.
No. It effectively gives Rampage a free reign this turn.
Yeah.
He's doing a 3 bank to the left, which means that his target assist can trigger.
But I don't know if you've got the Ghost in Arc.
I don't think I do. I think it's just going to skirt along the side, so...
Yeah.
But also the fact that the U-Wings are where they are does benefit just as much.
Yeah, if you decide to take a target lock, then you'll get 2 calculate tokens there.
Yeah. So with the target assist, if you can, after you triggered it, you want to take preferably a target lock, not take any greens, so that then you gain your calculate token.
Yeah, definitely, because then you get the advantage of sync laser cannons there.
And that's what we've done. So we've target locked onto Saw, which leaves us free of green tokens.
So now you're also going to get double modifications with him. Target lock calculates, so that's good.
And Vader, similarly, 3 bank left, nice and speedy.
And that should get you arc on to... That will get you arc on Saw as well there. So you've got 3 shots that could go potentially into Saw Gerrera.
Yep.
And then 1 shot that will go into Cassian.
Yeah, so focusing the fire.
And you're only going to get more than likely 1 shot into Valen and 1 shot into Rampage. Rampage, you'll get the range 3 and gas cloud coverage.
Yes. So Vader focuses. That's a 4 spend. So what's he doing here?
He's not going to try and barrel roll, is he? Barrel rolling away.
Interesting. Playing very defensively.
Would appear that the Dark Lord of the Sith is scared.
Scared? How dare you? I think it's less the Dark Lord of the Sith, the more the player controlling him.
Well, I'm pretty sure you might have even put him out of arc.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I would call that a tactical error there.
Quite possibly.
I mean, target lock, focus. I would have taken that.
Focus, yes. Don't know why I didn't target lock. So we can say we're biding our time, but we shall see, of course, whether it was smart or not. So, Saw shot Valen and no damage was exchanged. So working our way down, we have Signor Rampage. Yeah, now activates the target assist, so he's engaging. So before you engage, if you have no green tokens, you can gain a calculate token for each enemy ship at range 2 to 3, up to a maximum of 2. Both the U-Wings are at range 3. So I present 2 calculate tokens.
Very handy, that. Very handy.
A really good trigger there. So now we're calculating, so the sync laser cannon takes effect. Well, actually that's not bad, because you can spend a calculate for that one. There you go. Re-roll with the target lock. Yeah. That's still pretty good though. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
2 evades though. I mean, come on.
Oh, 1 evade, rolling elusive now.
Oh yeah. That was 1 evade and elusive gets him a second. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When elusive actually works, it's very satisfying.
I think for me the biggest thing with elusive is having to do that red maneuver to flip that charge back. I almost don't want to feel like I'm forced into doing that red maneuver to get that. I prefer to have it as my choice.
Yes.
Ooh. So that's one.
2 evades, which means that 1 damage goes through onto Rampage there.
Yep.
And it's a crit damage as well.
It's
And
a
it's direct hit.
Nice.
Wonderful. It's exactly what you want. And again, it's a tie, so they've got no shields. Well, it's a tie fighter, so it's got no shields. Just got a bit more metal.
Well, you say a bit more. It's almost 3 times the amount.
True, yeah.
I mean, you probably had enough points to stick a hull upgrade on there as well at this point.
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, I know that Connor, when he was flying his, was flying it with a TIE Swarm Inferno Squadron, in fact. So Gideon, Mal, Iden, and the other one. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head now. But he had enough points left that he'd stuck a shield upgrade and a hull upgrade on there because it's got the dual modification slot.
That's really good.
Yeah, so it was a very stacked out Rampage.
Vaden has chopped another shield off Saw, and this is now Night Beast into Cassian. With hit crit. And he whips a shield off him as well. I'll take that as a win for those 2.
Yeah, good bit of shooting there. But the only damage you suffered so far is on Night Beast, so I think that's a Rampage.
On Rampage, yeah.
I think it was unfortunate with that bump on the rock, because I think if it wasn't for that, you'd have been taking a range 1 shot from Kallus, which would have been 5 dice, and that would have been rather painful.
I was very frightened of that. Should have heard the sigh of relief when I remembered. Oh yeah, he's on an asteroid. Like, ah. Let's see. The only question I have now is, will Vader shoot this round?
At the rate it's going, I don't think he's going to shoot at all. He's just doing it.
We've had 6 rounds and he's done nothing.
He's just doing a tour of the battlefield.
It's less of a battle for Vader and more of a dance. Or a light jog. A brisk walk.
Nah, he's playing Kiss Chase with the asteroids.
Cheeky boy. Like the old playground game. Back at school with Vader.
No, if it was like an old playground game that I used to play, it'd be British Bulldog and it'd be running straight down the middle.
Oh yeah, we were vicious. I feel like I was the last sort of generation of kids in school that were allowed to be ridiculously vicious.
Had they banned Conkers by the time you were at school?
No, they'd already banned it.
Yeah, we still have Conkers. Great fun.
I genuinely have no idea how Conkers work, so just to make you feel a little bit old, Phil.
Well, there's 2 options. You either try and destroy the other person's Conker with yours, or you just swing around as fast as you could and just hit the person instead. That's probably
and do
why
you get
it got
range
banned.
bonus?
No, but you do get a bonus if you soak it in PVA glue, so it's really tough. You weren't supposed to do that.
That screams cheat to me.
Well, the 2 options were normally you'd bake it or you'd soak it in vinegar. But that's a long time ago.
A long time ago, yes. In a galaxy far, far away.
Sometimes feels like it. Oh, and so just marking up Saw there for your TIE fighters. Two
through.
bank round.
He wants his focus token, Night Beast, and he's going to get it.
Yeah. But obviously, Cassian's got a nice, sort of clear opportunity to move himself out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's got the You know what I'd love to see right now? Double pivot wing, saw 90 degrees right, Cassian 90 degrees left, focus fire on one of those TIE fighters, just rip it to shreds.
Are you telling me that you wish to see a pincer maneuver?
Yes, I want to see a pincer maneuver, and it would look hilarious. There's sometimes like, although I would say I'm a predominantly Empire and Republic player, kind of like yourself. There's sometimes when you're watching a game and you see we're 50% there, we are 50% there. There are things that you see that are potential to happen, and you sort of just go, you know what? Please do it. I want to see it. I think it would be hilarious.
This was one of those where you just actually wanted crazy things to happen because it was funny and fun and awesome. So the Red Claw has come in. Phelan, what's he doing?
I assume a 2 bank.
I assume he's keeping nice and close. Yeah, there you go. It's Copy Night Beast Day today.
Does he fit?
He does fit.
He does fit. So yeah, you got 2 range 1 shots there on Cassian.
Next is Saw and the ghosts going first. Okay.
So 4K from the ghosts or 5K? 4K, 5. It's a K turn. It's
a
fast.
K turn, yeah.
It's on a big ship, so it looks massive. It's the 4K. Nice.
4K.
Got to love it.
Scary on a big ship.
Now, I think Wes might have assumed that you were going to be going in a different direction, but let's see if we get it. Will he flip that card over?
I think Rampage could go left or right. Obviously, the safer option now is to go right, but we shall see, of course.
Well, I kind of anticipate Vader just doing a 5 forward down to the bottom of the board. You know, let's stay out of the action.
Let's see what Saw does. We want to see this pincer maneuver.
I do.
The claw.
The pivot wing is flipping.
Yes.
And
the claw.
Do it, Wes.
Do it.
He's anticipating heading off Vader, though. I mean, I can see the reason for that. You'd have them both pointing in the same direction so they could go that way and sort of ruin Vader's little stroll. But left or right, left or right, left or right. Yes! Yes!
Have it!
So, A, I'm happy that I called it. B, I'm happy it's happening. Because, yeah.
It's one of those where even if you're in a massive pickle, you kind of want it to happen. Because it's so cool.
Oh, and this massively works in Wes's favour as well, because Rampage is now facing the wrong way. I mean,
I can tell you what happened here.
He probably barrel rolls in.
Yeah. I pictured that Bank 3 would be a lot less of a turn for that ship, but it's a medium ship, so it's more of a turn.
Bank 3 also goes a lot further than you anticipate as well.
It does. You always think that. You just think, it's a little turn. Nope. It's still quite a bit of a turn.
And the thing is, if you do barrel roll in, you're not going to get your calculate.
No, this is an example where expert handling would have been absolutely ideal.
Oh yeah, expert handling, and then you take the calculate,
and then you blow up a U-wing. Here we go.
I wouldn't say blow up a U-wing, but yeah, he's doing it.
Range 1 shot is always good.
Yeah.
Nicely tucked in.
What happens to you though?
Potentially out of the ghost's range, but Let's see where Senior Vader goes. Another bank 3, looking promising. He might shoot.
It's alright, he's going to barrel roll out of arc anyway.
Yeah, he's just going to do a little barrel roll and just carry on with his stroll. Range 1 now. Let's cause some pain.
Afterburners, interesting.
You want to focus, you want to target lock, you want to get all the mods.
I believe you've already got the target lock in there.
That might be it. Yes. He's number 1, and there is a number 1 right there. You can see it. Doesn't even need to spend the force. Shall I say it? After Vader shoots, I think he might be quite sore. I don't think he saw that coming.
In the comments below, rank that from 1 to 5.
You mean from 0 to -5?
Yeah. So there's the target lock, so focus.
Focus.
So
Another crit as well, because it's advanced targeting computer. Good past Fraser. Ooh, nothing. So that's 2 shields and a card. Bang, bang, bang. And he now has a damage sensor. See?
So, damage sensor cannot perform any actions except the focus actions and actions from damage cards. So that takes Lando out of the game for a bit, unless he repairs it.
I'm sure he will. Next up is Saw. He is going to shoot a tie.
I think you should go for Valen here.
Well, he's going for Night Beast, but I would agree. I thought
think it's
he was going to go for Valen.
I think it's difficult because he probably doesn't know the points difference.
Yeah. Wouldn't have mattered to me, because if it was me shooting the ties, Night Beast does not have any... Oh, he might do, actually. He has an evade.
Well, that's 3 evades there anyway.
Well, so it makes no difference if he had an evade or not. He's very safe.
And check and see if the ghost is in range.
Willow.
It is. So it's a range 3 shot onto Rampage there. So
After the bit of the mishap with the asteroid, I'm kind of glad he does. So Kallus has 1 hit and a crit. And that is a whole lot of nothing.
So that's another hit crit on you there.
Panic Pilot.
Panic Pilot. 2 stress tokens. Ooh. That is not what a big ship like that wants to get.
And when he's already stressed.
That means you're going to be doing a lot of blue maneuvers.
Yeah. Questioning whether he'll be able to get back in it by the end.
15 minutes to go. You might be out of it.
Yeah, quite possibly. Don't think it's going to... We've got enough time to have enough turns to remove all that stress.
Now the question is, what range is Cassian at? If Cassian's at range 1, I'd be tempted to take a shot on Rampage there.
Potentially, yeah. But then
Or is he
can
just
you
gonna...
ignore the range 1?
Oh, I'd say if you had a range 1 on Rampage, I'd take it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like we are going in on Night Beast.
Yeah. focusing fire, I think.
Just the one.
Yeah. Spend a focus for an evade, so again, nothing.
Saul's ability is still not triggering there.
No.
Considering he's now the only damage-friendly ship.
Well, now it can trigger if he needs it.
Yeah, it can trigger on himself. But at the moment, Cassian and Kallus still have shield. Right, now it can trigger on itself.
There you go. Valen has whacked 3 hits into Cassian, so his shields are down. And he has... No, it's not a crit, is it? It's just 2 damage for him.
2 damage.
And Night Beast
With speed
is doing
Saga
crits.
Lock.
See, 2 crits there. And that's 1 evade, so 1 more. And that is a stunned pilot. Stunned by the magnificence of the TIE fighters.
So, stun pilot, after you execute maneuver, if you move through or overlap an obstacle, suffer 1 hit.
So, stop going over rocks, basically.
Yeah.
Sweet, so that is the end of round 6. Finally, we've had some shot from Senor Vader.
Yeah, he finally did something.
Something
Wait
worthwhile.
for it.
I was going to make a Rise of Skywalker joke there, but I couldn't think of it.
We've now got a very hurting Cassian. Saul's not in a great place. Surprisingly, the Ghost has still got a lot of health. Well, he's only had, 2 shots at him?
Yeah, he's only lost a shield. And the U-Wings are the ones that hurt him.
Should he not have lost 2 shields?
No, because he didn't take any damage from the asteroid.
Oh, okay, that's good.
He came out on top there, so it's not all bad news. I am wondering where to send Cassian, though. Don't know where he could go next, because
He's got a lot of things ahead of him.
Exactly. He can't pivot again. Potentially the only downside to the pincer maneuver.
Yeah. So I think his only real option there is to bump. Which is okay, because obviously he won't suffer a damage for bumping, it just means he won't get an action. So open those wings up, move forward, bump, have a potentially nice shot into Vader in a second.
There may be one saving grace. Because Cassian can remove stress, can't he? I think it's before you activate, you can remove a stress token.
Let's have a quick look. I never really fly the U-Wing.
I've hardly come across them yet, so it was really cool to actually fight some.
So, at the start of the activation phase, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1 to 3. If you do, that ship removes 1 stress token. So he can take a stress token off Saul.
Right, so he can't do it to himself, okay.
Can't do it to himself, but he can take it off Saul, which means if he wanted, he could make Saul pivot.
If he was Saul, he could. But I'm not so Saul.
I mean, I'm not sure what advantage that would give him, to be honest. So we've got 3 too hard there from
Yeah,
Night Beast.
just getting out of the way, I think.
I reckon Valen's probably going to do a K-turn.
Yeah, he could K-turn and try and come in the back of Cassian. He could also peel off as Night Beast did, but this is a battle, it's not an aerial display, so probably not a good idea. What is Cassian going to do?
Did he take that stress off? He isn't taking the stress off Saw.
No, he's not removed any stress. Might have been a good idea. He's pivoting. Interesting. Can he do that?
Yes, because of Hera. So Hera's a
Of
dual
course
to
he
that.
can.
So you can
Yes.
execute a red maneuver even more stressed. After you fully execute your red maneuver, if you have 3 or more stress tokens, remove 1 stress token and suffer 1 damage. So yeah.
I'd forgotten completely about Hera. That's really good. And now he's got a perfect shot onto Night Beast.
Yeah. Do we see a 1 bang from Saw to try and capitalise on that and just run Night Beast into the ground?
I think that's a good idea. A 1 of some description, I think. We still have him, so...
I think 1 bang could be a good option because it might not bump into Cassian, whereas a 1 forward, I would be quite confident set a bump.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's definitely going to have Valen in shot. Doesn't look like he did a blue maneuver.
No. There was a 3 forward, so it'd be a white maneuver, so no action.
Fair enough. And here we see what we've been waiting for. Flipping the wings, so out we come. And we're staying there, okay. Maybe we did remove the stress. Yeah, I think Wes forgot it and said,
Right.
can we do that retroactively? And I was like, yeah. Wasn't a big deal there.
No, I mean, casual games, so
Yeah.
no clearing from Rampage there.
No. I was wondering if he might just get through there, but he didn't. But that does mean Vader's just going to squeeze up and tuck in right next behind Saw, so he won't be able to finish him off.
No, but it does give him a shot onto Cassian. Admittedly, he's not going to get the option to target up there.
No, it's going to be a very weak shot on Cassian. But we'll see if anything goes through. If not, I don't think it's a big deal. Wait till next turn and then get a big hit in there. So yeah, just one. And one evade, so yeah, nothing goes into Cassian.
So that's a good round there for Wes so far.
Yeah.
Now, I would definitely go with Kallus first into Valen. The problem
That's
is
not happening, unfortunately. Saw's going next into Nightbeast. I know he's measuring up to see if Valen's in as well. He is.
I mean, personally, I'd go Kallus first because he's only really got one shot.
Right.
See what you do there. If you get Valen damaged quite considerably, then go with Sword to see if you can finish Valen off, and then leave Nightbeast for Cassian.
Yeah, that makes sense, but it's not happening. We've got Saw shooting Nightbeast, and Focus Token saves him.
No, it doesn't.
No, you're wrong. That's totally wrong. He has nothing.
He had an evade.
He had an evade, so he does dodge one, which means he takes two. And one of those, and it's going to be a crit as well. I can tell you that crit is Blinded Pilot. So it can only modify dice by force, which he does not have.
Yeah.
Now we've got Kallus.
Kallus on to Valen.
Getting two, which he evades, so still nothing on Valen.
Yeah.
I do always worry that TIE fighters will be the last to survive. Especially if it's an Academy pilot.
Yeah. Well, ideally, you'd like to think that Cassian is going to... Yeah, so he's going to re-roll because of Saw's ability.
Yep. That's two hits, and that's no evade, so he is gone.
So that's good. So taking Nightbeast out is good. Still leaves him behind on points, though.
Yes. Currently there's 3 points in it. And next to shoot is Valen. And obviously he's going to take on Cassian.
Yes.
Pretty good. Go on, we need some paint here. Go on, Wes, we need some paint. That's not paint. That's a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, that's not good.
It is not. That is a big point increase I got there.
Yeah.
Now 84 to 54. Finally had some destruction though, so exciting stuff.
So it depends on how quickly they can get their dials down.
Yeah, in theory you should put them down before the timer ends, but we had one more round anyway.
Yeah.
If you almost want to go, put it straight down, just to guarantee one more lot of stabby death. Well, it's probably not going to be a lot of shooting, I don't think. I mean, the TIE Brute's definitely out of it. He can't turn around or anything. No way he could get shot.
If the ghost does like a too hard in,
yeah,
and Cassian does like a one forward, they
Yes.
might be able to focus fire down onto Night Beast. If they can take Night Beast down and Vader doesn't get the kill, then that would take him to final salvo.
I think it's going to be between the Ghost, Valen, Saw, and Vader. I don't think Rampage is going to do anything here. I think that Panic Pilot really, really messed him up and took him right out of it. Potentially, expert handling might have helped, but to be honest, I don't see how it would have done. Although it may have been a better shout. Interestingly enough, Veteran Turret Gunner hasn't been used at all throughout this game.
No, it's not been in a position to be used though.
No. The only issue is you might have a game like this where you think, right, I never use this, so I'll take it out. And then the next game you play, you actually have a situation where you might actually use it. Or you think, that would have been a great example to use this. So it's always difficult to judge on the merits of one game whether a card was worth it or not.
Definitely requires a few more games to be able to really say.
Yes, it does. So Valen has come in, cleared his stress. Now what is he going to take action-wise? So he's evading. Potentially getting more actions though if he's shot at, which I'm sure he will.
Yep.
Saw is doing a one forward. Ooh,
I think I might put him at mark.
looks like it, yeah.
It's very close.
It is.
If he's in arc, it's only just by the barest of margins.
It is indeed. Now, what is the Ghost doing? The bank 2 from Kallus.
I'm wondering if that's
I
too
don't know if
much.
that's going to fit. Oh, it looks like it. I'm afraid to say. Yeah, it is.
Is that a bump?
That is a bump, so that's a big attack that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I think that too hard would have been better. Wouldn't have gone quite as far. Would have kept that angle really good, really nice.
Oh no, he'll have Vader probably.
Yeah, he'll have Vader, but I think that he would have better chance.
He'd kill Vader a lot easier, yeah.
Yeah. If he can get half on Vader, which would require Vader to completely blank out.
So he has done a one forward as well, keeping nicely behind Saw.
So that'll be a focus target lock there.
Looks like we're barrel rolling. Seeing if we can get out of the Ghost Arc.
Yep, true.
If we can, that's really well done.
And you have...
Time will tell. Now let's see. Spend a force and do lots more actions.
Yeah, you've got out of his arc there.
Now what we're weighing up here is it worth attacking the Ghost? Because this would be a good shot into the Ghost, but on the last round you need to think about points. And I don't think even the best of Vader's shots will half Kallus.
No, because you would take off at most his 3 shields.
Yes.
If he had no shields, then yeah, hope for crits, but...
Yeah, so spending lots of force, getting a target lock and a focus, so we can attack Saw, and we barrel rolled out of the Ghost Arc. Spend the focus.
So yeah, that will be bye-bye Saw.
Yeah, Saw. Well, Saw's got 2 evades, so that's still pretty good going. But that means the crits go through, so we're structured. So that's a structural damage there, and a loose stabilizer.
Yep. The only one that really matters at this point is the structural damage, removing him down to 1 evade. So he'll still have that shot coming back in from Valen.
Yeah, so Vader's out. Really well done there. Now is Saw in? That's the question.
I don't think he is.
Doesn't look like it. Which means Valen's got some work to do if he does. He's going to need to get 2 damage that goes through to kill him. I mean, obviously we don't need to kill Saw for a win, but it's going to be close. Let's see if we can get it. We want 2. Oh no. Just the 1. And focus gets 1 evade, so nothing. So there we have it, the final score. Saw was not killed.
So they end a win there for the Empire.
Indeed. Final score, 84 points to 54 points. A really close game though, I've got to admit. I had a lot of fun there, and it was very, very close and a lot of points.
Yeah, I'd say it was a lot closer than it looks when you look at the final tally there. A lot of that damage went in towards the latter end of the game. I think Wes was a bit unfortunate with his dice rolls and the 2 collisions of the obstacles. Also, there was the unfortunate forgetting of trick shot there. Again, one of the curses of having a lot of different upgrades is trying to remember what everything you have.
Yes.
So
the big disappointment for Wes was the collision with that asteroid. Otherwise, he would have had a 5 dice shot into Rampage.
Yeah.
And that would have been a massive game changer, that would have been.
I think that would have potentially taken Rampage out of the game, I think.
Yeah, he would have been down to 1 health, I think, because he hadn't taken his panic pilot, his second lot of damage yet.
Definitely.
Didn't have a chance to use the concussion missiles with Vader, but I question whether he needed it.
I think if you're going to take any form of missiles with Vader, advanced... Can he take torpedoes? Can he take advanced protons?
It's just rockets. If he could take torpedoes, he'd be much more lethal.
Yeah.
The one thing we didn't see any of was Valen's ion limiter, and I think that would be worth changing. There's got to be something much more useful for him. What I would like to try, and of course we can't try it just yet, be that precision ion engines mod that we get in the V-Wing pack.
Yeah.
That can turn a 1 to 3k into a sloop. To see that on a TIE fighter as well is going to be really interesting.
Yeah. There's some new interesting stuff coming out, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing those pieces on the board.
Yeah, that new TIE upgrade is going to do a lot, so that will be something to look out for.
Definitely.
But there we have it, everybody. That is where we're going to leave things today. Phil, how did you find that?
Yeah, it was a good game. It's nice to see the Ghost on the board. nice to see the Ghost surviving on the board. Every time I've flown the Ghost, I've never had much luck, but Kallus is definitely an interesting pilot to have on there, and I think he really benefits that chassis with his native ability.
He's a great character and he's a great pilot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for watching and enjoying. Check out Phil's channel.
Out of Art Gaming.
Absolutely.
Generally posting a video every Monday. Currently in the middle of some tournament videos coming up at the moment, but normally Mondays is when I have a video coming up.
We've got plenty to work through. Hopefully I'll achieve my goal, which is to put everything I have online so we can have a fresh new batch once the lockdown is over and we can get back to doing what we like to do best.
Indeed, looking forward to getting some new games and some more interesting shenanigans up.
So look after yourselves, everybody. Stay safe and we'll see you soon. Take care.